Ninjago Legends Monstrosity was a very interesting new direction for Ninjago, not just as a TV series, but also in terms of LEGO sets. While the sets themselves are pretty mixed in terms of quality, the main idea is we get more adult-oriented sets that are meant more for display. We only have 2 sets right now, with more sets definitely coming out in the future, but I thought today it'd be fun to design our own Monstrosity set to tag along with this series. And in order to make a proper Legends Monstrosity set, true to the name, I needed to 1. Make a monstrous vehicle that could ride over the rough terrain of the land of monsters. 2. It needed a monster that it's fighting. 3. It needed to have a dynamic stand to have all these pieces in a state of action. 4. Make some really cool edgy box art just like the official sets. And 5. Get a rating out of 4 from the most critical guest on this channel, my girlfriend. And if she gives this anything above a 3 out of 4, then we have won. We made a successful Legends Monstrosity set. So in order to prepare for the main build of this video, I looked at my previous monstrous builds like Roz's jet with the cool blade opening feature and sharp teeth, or my Drix car that had a really creepy tongue sticking out the front. Even the rogue vehicle I made looked like it could traverse the rugged lands of the land of monsters, as well as the swamp build I had made with a radioactive tree growing out of the middle. After that, in order to get a good grasp of the story I want to tell with this set, I decided to base it off of the brand new Legends Monstrosity Kai's Monsters Journey short series to coincide with that, since that didn't really get any brand new sets. For figures, I took Wu Season 11 suit, which had a really cool tattered cape, as well as Kai's merch suit, and ended up making this really cool Monstrosity Kai. It's not the most accurate, but I do really like how it looks, and I want to use this custom figure for my build. Wyldfyre needed to be even more rugged looking than she already did, so I took her Season 1 torso, her hair, armor, and arms from her Season 2 tournament suit, as well as the hands from the merged Kai that I had already destroyed. Little did I know that this custom figure I made would guide the color scheme for the entire rest of the build. So I started with the monster, and for inspiration, I've had these cement roller pieces in my Lego piece library for so long, and I haven't been able to use them, and I thought these would make fantastic beetle wings. I ended up making this really gross looking bug with stud shooters for eyes and really slimy looking legs. Now for the main car for Wyldfyre, it was honestly a lot of back and forth for a solid 2 weeks. And I really wanted to implement this exhaust flame feature where the exhaust would flip front and it was connected to a lot of things in the car, so it all simultaneously move up and shoot something. However, that feature would change so much after its many reiterations. The rear tires went from 1 plastic wheel on both sides to 2 plastic wheels on both sides, which was courtesy to taking apart my Krager's Fire Striker set from Chima. And honestly, breaking this set apart was the best decision I made because a lot of these parts would help me build the set. Meanwhile, I didn't even plan this, but I was messing around with my Ninja Team combat vehicle, and I guess I rolled it a little too hard, and I kid you not, the front Technic beam literally cracked. So I was like, okay, I can't use this set anymore, I might as well use the parts. So I swapped out the treads I already had for these larger ones, which greatly increased the scale and scope of the set, and all of a sudden this build was definitely going to take a lot longer. So I should have seen this coming, but just like the original set, the treads did not roll on this one either properly. But unlike that set, I was actually going to fix the problem this time. Those little rubber bushing pieces were the initial go-to option, but those didn't work that well, so I decided I had to make a cheater wheel so that the treads could roll super well. And so I didn't have any gear pieces, unfortunately, that could connect to the treads, which meant that not only did I have to have a cheater wheel in the middle, but the treads themselves had to have little tires with rubber on the outside so that they can get traction and the treads could actually move. It was a lot of winding around just because I didn't have a specific piece that fit for those treads. During this time, I also made gray much more of a prominent color so that it looks a lot weathered down, as well as using this saddle piece to make a really sleek looking front windshield panel. Now that I started to work on aesthetics, the Chima set really started to influence the way the build was going, with sharp teeth, dark green highlights, and Chima blades. I guess if you spend a long enough time in the land of monsters, your vehicles become monstrous as well. Now going back a little, since I added the rubber cheater wheel, it completely tanked my plans of having the exhaust feature connecting to a lot of other things in the car to work simultaneously. To make up for that, I basically added a ton of new features. One is if you push down on the windshield, the stud shooters will lean up ready to fire on any aerial targets, as well as working as a parking brake system so that the car doesn't roll anywhere in the land of monsters. In case you get in some serious trouble, the front hood also lifts up into a turret which you can then shoot at enemies as well. And the flame exhausts actually still do something. They shoot these awesome spheres, and I really miss Lego you doing the sphere shooters. So I was glad I was still able to implement that in some way, even if it wasn't as complex. At this point in time, I genuinely thought I was basically done with the build. I was talking to my friend Colito Productions, and I was thinking, dude, should I build a stand for this? Does it really need it? And I was expecting him to say no. And then he was like, yeah, dude, you should if it's easy. It wasn't easy, but I realized I probably should because this is a legend set. Honestly, I'm really happy with how motion was conveyed. It's not like a huge stand, but the bug is placed in a really good way where it looks like it's kind of flying out. The car really looks like it's breaking the sand, and there's stuff shooting out. There's a couple rocks. There's a barrel with the sword. I think it's good enough, and I feel satisfied putting this on my shelf. The last two things I had to do was make that box art and get the final rating from my girlfriend to see if I succeeded to making a Legends Monstrosity set. So basically, usually I make box art and stuff by myself in the past, and it's okay, I think, but this time I decided to contact the legend at Shingaryu and asked, hey, can you please do the box art for me? And he was super nice to me, and he did it. And this is how it turned out, and it looks absolutely beautiful. It captures the vibe of Legends Monstrosity, and it's better than what I could have ever come out with. I'm super happy. He really brought this to life. So thank you so much. Now it's time for my girlfriend's thoughts on this. So after a 2-year journey of making you watch every single piece of Ninjago content, you're finally here on the YouTube channel, and I have a Lego set for you to react to today. So first of all, we have a beetle.
It looks good. I don't think it's the best though. It has a lot of work put into it. I think one of your biggest flaws is the fact that no more legs here. I personally don't like these cylinder pieces.
Now for the main car, we got the turret at the front, and we got some sphere launchers as well as a turret at the top.
A lot of shooters in this. Yeah, this looks really nice. It's a good size and a good weight.
So the big question is, what do you give this out of 4?
I think the entire set deserves a solid 3 out of 4.
And before you leave, you want to tell them what your favorite season is? Your favorite ninja?
Okay, so my favorite ninja's Cole.
Okay.
And my favorite season is Sons of Garmadon. Subscribe to 4 Corners!
Okay. You guys heard her. Please. Helps a lot.
Bye-bye!
And with that being said, thank you so much for making it through the entire video. It really helps a lot. And as usual, I'll see you in the next one. Bye-bye.